So 851 descends, wireless star 9000, QNH1018.
Send wireless star 9000, QNH1018, 851.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us. Today we are on the last sector of our round trip tour from Papua New Guinea to Australia to New Zealand, back to Australia, and now we're in our final airport in Australia, bound for Papua New Guinea to close the loop. So we're just preparing for the departure, and we got about an hour and a half flight time ahead of us. So welcome aboard, and watch us prepare for our pushback and departure. We'll be getting clearance from Brisbane Centre today.
Brisbane Centre, g'day, QJet 1526 with you, climbing through flight level 270 for flight level 230. QJet 1526, Brisbane Centre, g'day.
Brisbane Centre, good day, Bonza 838 with you at Cairns, stand 9, looking for clearance to Port Moresby.
Bonza 838, Brisbane Centre, g'day, you're cleared to Port Moresby via, apologies, you're cleared to Port Moresby via the Zany flight plan routes. Runway 15, Cairns 2 departure, climb by SID 6000, squawk 1105, departures on this frequency.
Okay, we're cleared for the Zany departure as per the flight plan. Climb initially 6000, squawk 1105, Bonza 838.
And Bonza 838, the Zany departure isn't the departure, that's just your first planned waypoint. It's the Cairns 2 radar departure, runway 15.
Roger, Cairns 2 departure, runway 15, Bonza 838.
Bonza 838.
Okay, so we've got our clearance, and let's get our APU started up. We can start the APU. We can also close the doors. Okay, doors are closed, and we can operate the stairs. Stairs being removed, APU still starting up. Okay, APUs on list. Dual bleeds on. Let's get the packs off since we're going to be starting the engine soon. The fuel flow on. Ground power off. And remove ground equipment. Ground equipment removed.
And today 51, descent 7,000.
Decent 7,000, answer 851.
Okay. So, for our push and start, let's do before start checklist. Let's get the smart cars going. Okay, we're connected. And while we're at it, let's get Discord going. Should be good. Okay folks, let's get ready for the push and start. Brisbane Center, Bonza 838 out of stand 9 in Cairns, ready for push and start.
Bonza 838, Brisbane Center, pushback approved.
Pushback approved, Bonza 838. Okay. So, let's push back.
And today 51, descent 5,000.
Descent 5,000, answer 851.
We're gonna push back facing right. Anti-collision light on.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Roger.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
So we're in Bonza.
New Zealand 231, Brisbane Center, good night. Score
Victor Hotel.
1113.
Nose right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Release parking brakes. Pushback time was
Commencing push.
150.
All engines clear. Start at will.
10 minutes early. Okay, pumps are on, and we can start engine number 2.
Feeling 220 on the ground at Cairns, requesting IFR to McBee, information Alpha on board.
Monitoring
Feeling 220, Brisbane Center,
into
standby. I'm just going to give
20,
you a
21%.
standard you follow glide more standard waypoints from McBee, standby.
Feeling 220 will stand by.
Okay, fuel flow on. So here you can see where we are at Cairns, and we're just pushing back facing right. The runways that will be ahead of us when we start taxiing, pushback, and we want to go to the end of runway 15. So we're probably going to go Delta Charlie 1, Bravo 2, and then get a clear to backtrack runway 15, so that we can get the full length of
Please set
runway
parking
15.
brakes.
Parking brake set.
Unlocking gear.
Then our routing is this Cairns departure, so we're going to be flying south, and then whichever of the...
Today, 51, descend 4,700, cleared arms approach from runway 15.
Okay, engine number 2 started, so now
Descend
let's start engine number 1.
4,700, clear the ILS approach runway 15, then set 851, thanks.
N2 rising.
And Feeling 220, clearance development.
Feeling 220 ready to go.
Tow truck disconnected.
Feeling
Bypass pin
220,
removed.
cleared from McBee via amended flight plan route.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Acrom, Alpha,
Monitoring
Kilo,
21%.
Romeo, Oscar, Mike, Zulu 17, Obron, Oscar, Victor, Romeo, Oscar, November,
N2 rising.
direct
23, 24.
runway 15, Acrom
25.
1 departure, flying by
Fuel flow on.
6,000, score code 4025.
So we're going to be taking off southward on this runway, and when we get either to 400 feet or 2.6 miles from Charlie Sierra, that arc is represented there, we start turning left, and we're just going to go left to 350 degrees,
Via
and
amended flight plan
then
route
we're going to go direct
Acrom.
to Zany.
Victor 217, direct McBee. Climb by the 6,000, walk 4025, departures on this frequency.
Feeling 220, thanks.
Into 52%.
New Zealand 231, report flight level. New Zealand 231, identified, declared to Sydney via Rickney flight plan route. Then you're cleared Marlin 5, arrival, runway 25, ran ready, descend,
Okay, we
flight
got-
level 130.
2 good engine stops. Let's get engine 2 on the bus. Engine 1 on the bus. APU bleed off. APU off. let's check that landing altitude in Moresby. 102. Okay. We're set. Okay. That's 5. Okay, check the controls, and you can look at the outside view, see if you can see the control surfaces moving. Full left. Forward. Centered. Back. Or to left. Centered. Right to right. Centered. All checks out.
Q-Link 220, what will be our departure runway this evening? Morning.
Q-Link 220, runway 15, Akron 1 departure.
Runway 15, Akron 1 departure, thank you very much.
Okay, before taxi checklist. Before taxi checklist. Generators are on, probe heats are on, anti-ice not needed, isolation valves are on auto, engine start switches are on continuous, recall checked, and auto brakes set to RTO, engine start levers idle to 10, flight controls checked, and ground equipment clear before taxi checklist completed. Brisbane Center, Bonza 838, out of Cairns, ready for taxi.
Bonza 838, taxi via Bravo, holding point Bravo 2, runway 15.
Bravo, Bravo 2, holding point runway 15, Bonza 838.
And that's 851. Established on the localizer. We've still got 18 miles to run.
Answered 851.
Okay. I guess he's giving us the discretion of parking brakes up, of finding ourselves, doing the backtracking.
Digit 1526, contact me on 134 decimal 2, expect star clearance.
Over to 134 decimal 2. We'll expect start. GJ 1526.
Brisbane Civic, GJ 1526, back with you, and flight level 330. GJ 1526, Sonic, good day, you're cleared.
So I've got that 2.6 DME arc over here.
Ready, descent, flight level 1.
So either 400 feet or 260, then we're going to make a
Cleared the Bernie 3 Alpha arrival.
right.
Runway
Sorry.
32 when ready to fly. Center flight level 130. QJ 15.
Let's get that checked again before we make a left-hand turn, and it would be 350 degrees.
And it's 851. Established ILS and 10 miles to run.
Answered 850, runway 15, good to land.
Runway 15 cleared to land into 851.
Let's check for any traffic. Yeah, there is an aircraft coming in.
Approaching 15.
Brisbane Centre, Bonza 838 is at Bravo 2 in Cairns. Do we have time to backtrack and take off before the incoming aircraft arrives?
Bonza 838, he's only got about 5 miles to run, so that won't be enough time. Your sign heading left 010 for departure, hold short.
Roger, assign heading 010 upon departure, we're holding short. Not 350. That's probably more in line with where Zany is. Kind of. There he is coming in. You'll see him cross in front of us. Okay, there he is coming in.
Traffic, traffic.
There he is, landed.
Bonza 838, enter and backtrack runway 15 before running.
Roger, enter runway and backtrack runway 15 and we'll report when ready. Bonza 838. Look left. Look right.
On runway 33. Caution, short runway 2000 remaining.
So it looks like we got more area to the right, so we'll turn right before lining up.
Panzer 851's vacated on Bravo 4. Request taxi to the International Gate 4, please.
Bonza 851, taxi via Bravo, Charlie 2, Delta to the gate.
Bravo, Charlie 2, Delta to the gate, many thanks. Answer 851.
Thanks for flying, mate.
Cheers.
on runway 15.
Brisbane Center, Bonza 838, ready for departure.
Bonza 838, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
Runway 15, clear for takeoff, Bonza 838. Okay, throttles up to 40%. Stabilize, toga.
Must be the day of failed airlines, Bonza, Ansett, Compass.
Yes, indeed.
8 knots.
Release forward pressure. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Okay, we're airborne.
Bank angle.
Left one. Brisbane Center, Bonza 838, airborne passing 3,400 for 6,000, heading 010.
Bonza 838, center identified, resume her navigation, clear direct. Nancy, climb level 372.
Okay, assume on navigation, direct Zany, and climb flight level 370, Bonza 838. Set. LNAV VNAV speed.
Brisbane Center, location. Grand Chapter, taxiing for Melbourne.
Sierra Alpha Romeo Brisbane Center, g'day 44742, no approach now.
Okay, after takeoff checklist.
Cool.
Engine bleeds are on.
You're out right now.
And packs are on auto. Landing gear is up and flaps up. No lights to takeoff checklist completed. So we came across that 400 feet very quickly. Probably, I'm not sure if we turned quick enough, but it was to avoid some mountains to the south. Well, we're well clear now. And we're well on our way. So we have 480 miles to go.
And that's 231, descent 10,000, 291 and 017.
We've got about an hour and 17 minutes
Apologies, that was
for our
wrong
landing.
time. New Zealand 231, descent 10,000, 291 and 017.
All right, we are clearing the clouds. We can go ahead and let folks out of the seats. So today we have 180 passengers on this flight. That's just shy of the full capacity of this aircraft, which is 186 passengers. So a full load. And our alternate, let me just check, our alternate for this plan was in fact Townsville, which seems crazy. Yeah, Townsville. In other words, you know, almost back to Cairns. So there's a lot of fuel that we have for diversion. 2,800 kilograms, an hour and a half flight time. So literally you can get to Moresby and turn around and fly back again. You got enough fuel for it. Perspective. There is Papua New Guinea and Port Moresby being on the southern coastline. So let's take a look at the conditions at Moresby.
This is the Flightdeck here from departure chapter now. Flight 410.
Sierra Alpha Romeo Britain Center, you're not yet identified. Do you have an estimate?
METAR is showing
Stand by. Sierra Alpha.
winds from 150, so it's going to be our plan, which is to land from the north on runway 14 left. So we'll show you what that's going to look like.
Sierra Alpha Romeo, I have you now, you're identified. Please to Melbourne via Cockpit flight plan route. Flight 11420.
Fifth Melbourne, 23. And flight 1420. Sierra Alpha Romeo.
So that's our unsan arrival. So we're going to come in, disregard the magenta line. We're going to come in on the green line, and then sort of parallel the runway to the left, and then turn right, right base for runway 14 left. And we do have an ILS there that we can expect. They used to have an arrival that went around the right side, and that's quite spectacular if you get close to the mountains. But unfortunately, we don't have it today, and I'm not sure if that approach still exists. Well, that's it. So this reminds me that I need to delete that segment from unsan to AYPY. I will do that shortly, but first I'm going to get ready for to record my fuel remaining at Zaidi, which is coming up in 15 miles. So we're passing through flight level 214 for 370.
231, 201, 201.
Zaidi is 13 miles away. Currently 7.6 miles away and it's showing 7.2 tons projected to be. But it may be more than that. Right now we have 7.3 in the tank. Well, maybe we have 7.2 in 6 miles. 7.2. So 400 kilos more than the plane. So we need to lead away. Yes, basically the waypoint is P1, Upper Yankee. Skip through the plan, see if it's even there. If it's not there, I'm not even worried about it. So there's unsent. Yeah, it looks like it's not there. It automatically took care of itself when we added the star, which is very cool. And I've got like 4, 10, 20 rings. So we're good. Next thing to check is the VNAV.
0231, contact us on 129, mate.
I think we're good. We'll stay there. Flight level 370. And I'll tell you another reason why. Because we're carrying enough fuel to get us back to Townsville. There isn't a lot of margin for accumulating fuel. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So, right here, if you look at our landing weights, the top number is maximum landing weight and the lower number is our anticipated landing weight. But I'm thinking, you know, we may have 800 kilos more than the plan. So we might have 68,400, which would put us within 900 kilos of the maximum landing weight. So if we flew even at a higher altitude, we would burn even less and just get maybe dangerously close to our maximum landing weight. So I won't do that. We'll stick to the flight level 370 and we'll just double check. We have it in our FMC, on our MCP, and on our overhead flight altitude.
descend to 90,000, QNH 1017, QNH.
Okay, so when we land, it's going to be more fun to have a view from the other side of the aircraft, because the airfield is going to be to the right as we land. And also, when you go downwind from the airfield, you'll possibly be able to see the airport from the other side of the aircraft. So let's try to change that. Flight level 339er, about 3,000 feet to go. I'm going to take a look at that still. So Brisbane Center is going to sign us off at some point, which
Engine 1526, descend on start 4,000, clear to arm gear pressure. On start.
Descend to 4,000, for the RMP approach runway 32, we'll report when established, QNH 26.
looks like it's going to be at Casper, or Capsa, which is 146 miles beyond this waypoint. So we should be able to zoom out a little bit. There's Capsa. That's where we cross over to Moresby. Moresby for Capsa. Excellent. Make sure that on this chart. So we're heading for Poop Air right now, which is 48 miles away, and then the next one is Capsa. So Brisbane Center is going to hand us off to, at least maybe 50 miles away from Capsa. That's it, at least that's what it is. And it looks like there's nobody between us and Moresby.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight attendants will shortly be making their way through the cabin to offer various beverages of your choice. There will also be a selection of goods available for purchase, and we can accept most credit cards, checks and cash.
In about
If
35
there's anything we
minutes.
can do to make your trip more
256
enjoyable,
miles.
please don't hesitate to
So
ask.
let's start
Now we'd like
on.
you to sit back, relax and enjoy the flight.
Let's start our calculations. I'm going to go with 500 kilos over our planned weight. So let's boot up our electronic flight bag virtual performance tool. And that view of it. Looking for en route landing. And airport is AYPY. Runway will be 14 left. And we're going to go with ignore gradient. Get this updated weather information. Flaps configuration, let's go with flaps 30. Landing weight is going to be plus 575, so it'll be 68.1 tons.
English 1526, Southwest Durham, approach runway 32.
Digit 15 places, runway 32.
Clear flight, runway 32, digit 1526.
Alright, let's calculate that. Global QNH at Moresby is 1013.
Can I get a course 129, flight level 170 from 320.
129 was the today,
320, course 129.
Still calculating. Okay, done calculating, show the runway graphic. This one. And unfortunately, no taxi exits. So let's take a look at the airport diagram and see where we would like to vacate if possible. Well, I think Foxtrot is too ridiculous tight, so Mike would be a nice shot. Mike would be 2/3 of 9,000, so it would be 6,000 feet. Let's go back to our plan. What can we do at 6,000? We would have to have max auto. So we're going to do max auto. I hate burning out our brakes like that, but otherwise we have to go to the end of the runway and turn around and go.
Bonza 838, contacting on
125.7, Bonza 838. Brisbane Center, Bonza 838 with you.
838 from the
So we're going to do max auto. We try to remember to look at the temperatures of the brakes as soon as we exit the runways. Try to remember to do that. That would be interesting to see. Okay. I'm going to see this anymore. Do the setup so we're doing max. Set the landing, so the landing weight is 67, so 68.1. 68.1. So flaps 30, 147 plus 5, 152 on our approach speed. Well, just like that, we're all set for the landing information. So, but let's set up the ILS. 110. 110. Course for the airfield will be 142. 142 set. Let's take a look at decision height is ILS will be 450, 450 feet. feet.
Charlie Alpha,
Mr. Broach. Parking. Parking will be gate 3. We could do 4 or 2. Okay, we did have another fuel checkpoint at Prepad 6.7. Still showing 400 kilos over, and well, the landing calculations were based on 500 kilos over. Still got some distance to go. Still expecting it to be 500. Just estimating.
All stations. Center on our deployment.
Alright. Thanks for your help. Cheers. So who was he? Ethan Bruce. Well, it was nice to get loaded at ATC while it lasted. Best time to expect it too on the weekend, other than if there's a scheduled event. So tomorrow, I'm probably not going to fly, but I might do some updating in my sim. I noticed that there may be an upgrade available for my Sim-Avionics software. It runs all the brains in the aircraft, and I've got that on one machine. And on the other machine, it's P3D plus a little bit of the Sim-Avionics software. So I'll have to run my updater on both machines. But some of the updates include on my performance tab. It's where you set up second page of the approach rail. It's funny, I'm not seeing it right now, but it's for takeoff, basically. It talks about whether you have a wet runway, so that second page of your takeoff setup is about what the conditions are, dry, wet, and whatnot. And so that will update the computer to tell it what your VREFs should be. Right now, because of in-process development, the version that I have, Sim-Avionics have frozen or not given us access to that page. Now, that's not really a problem for me now because I'm using the virtual performance tool to calculate my V-speeds. It's just that the V-speeds, if it's raining outside, my V-speeds generated by the flight management computer would be erroneous. But because I have it, I have the virtual performance tool, I'm satisfied that I'm going to get the right values there. I have found that I use the trim level using the FMC information, but all the speeds, V1, V2, V1, anyway, V1, V2, are more accurate using the virtual performance tool. At least I feel more comfortable with it. The trim, when I use the trim from virtual performance tool, I feel like I'm having to push the nose forward, or at least the controls forward more than I really should have to. So I think it doesn't have as good trim settings, but I haven't tested that in a while. Maybe we'll be doing some updates. I do know that the principal of the virtual performance tool had been trying to get in touch with the principal of Sim-Avionics to work out some details. So, I think those details have been possibly worked on. I don't know. Top of the set is coming up. So, not much time left here. I'll try to pull up the Sim-Avionics site. Maybe just try to identify some of the changes that going to happen in the next update. Let's look at the change log. Okay, so I had 2.45, I believe. So additional system logic details, minor VNAV corrections, okay. Corrected potential disappearing route at first waypoint if only programmed via the FOCU. Okay, I didn't have that issue. Enable runway, wind, slope, dry, wet. Yeah, options to take off ref page 2. That's what I was talking about. Second page on the takeoff ref page. So I'm looking forward to those. You know, just to have it properly functional. Not that I couldn't do it. Auto throttle switches to arm based on lever position rather than commanded position when using direct throttle mode. IEFDS motorized throttle pointer. Throttle switches to arm based on lever position. Not sure what that means. CDU reformatting of the target speed on cruise page. Okay, and then that was to be 2.48, and then 2.49 min-max speed reversions added, reformatted 737 wind page, new cost index calculation, several validation fixes, airway routes fixes. Rework the terrain display requires new, smaller terrain files but contains more detail. Okay, so that means I need to install the terrain updates as well. Correction to route entry. Okay, multiple logic fixes. Proposed main tanks, a single fuel pump only triggers on us to caution after recall. Both main tanks, a single, okay. Fix the auto throttle light during AFDS test. Prevent route blanking on MD crossing the first waypoint after loading the simulator. Don't know much about that. Internal build, latest aircraft. Max is 2.6. I think I have a 2.4. So there's an updating of the aircraft, updating of the terrain, and updating the main software. So 3 different sets of updates to do. So I gotta make sure I got backups before I do those updates. Anyway, looking forward to that. Okay, looking at UNSAM. For the descent, looking on my legs page. No restrictions at UNSAM. And then it's ATSIM and ALDEV. And then DAFLO. So it's only Charlie Foxtrot 14 left where we actually. Yeah, so there's no restrictions. That's good. No restrictions other than in general to reaching up to 10,000. So all the restrictions are on the ILS runway 14 left. So that begins with Charlie Fox 14 left. Charlie Fox 14 left. Okay, that's going to be at 2,500 or above, which is done. So I'm going to make that 2,500. Execute. And we're set, and the missed approach is basically climb on runway heading, track to 150 feet, then unless otherwise directed by ATC, turn right onto 322. Dead reckoning track, continue climb to 2,500 at or beyond 9 miles Papa Whiskey, which we just deleted. Well, Papa Whiskey, okay, so it's got a distance of it's a VOR 1. 7. We tuned that. So anyway, it's up to 2,500. So basically you backtrack downwind and then you try again going to Charlie Fox 1 left. So you do a right down. Okay. You know, one day I've got to try Mr. Birch. I've actually been asked to do Mr. Birch's and I'm just really bad at it. I mean, I've seen the results. ATC starts questioning whether I have control over the aircraft. So I really have it on my to-do list to practice Mr. Birch's, and I think I'll do it at my home airfield, Washington Dulles, maybe 1 or 2 times, so that I'm comfortable with the concepts. And I mean, what I'm really talking about is the automated logic and the sequence of, you know, flaps, flaps 15 here up. Okay, so we are still not that close to top of the sun. We have 90 miles to go, and about 12 minutes to go. So that's not so far away, I guess. So given that, really we can go all the way down to the first restriction is 2,500. Let's just take it down to 10,000. Okay, on the FMA we have FMC speed, LNAV, and VNAV path. It's important to see the VNAV path then, because then we know that the aircraft is going to automatically descend to whatever MCP altitude I'm resetting on the MCP. And, if it's got VNAV or altitude hold on there, it won't descend. Sometimes depending on certain things that you've done, it's sometimes alt hold on there, or VNAV alt, and not 100%, but I would recycle the VNAV to get it back to VNAV path. Or I think if it's a VNAV alt, you can do an alt interpret, and it would also descend. Not 100%. That's what I think. Okay, we are coming to Capso, which means we are actually crossing from Brisbane to Port Moresby airspace. Capso in 4 miles. We are on Unicom now. Let's check on our backscope. No aircraft in sight. No particular terrible weather. Let's just double check. Okay, Mentor. So we do have a 20 knot wind, 10 knots gusting to 20. Like we're going to have a headwind for the arrival runway, which is okay. Overcast at 10,000, broken at 4,000. So below 4,000 we should have clear. Weird, this tool doesn't have QNH, so let's get our QNH from 1013. the fuel check capsule. 6.2. Okay, now I'm seeing the 500 kilo surplus over the planned fuel. And we still have 180 miles to touchdown. So there's still room for it to, the surplus to increase further. We'll just see what it is at Lena, which is just after our top of the sun. All gauges look good. of descent in about 25 miles. And then when we start descending, we'll do the descent checklist, and we always need to check QNH. So I'm recycling it now, and checking again. 1013. That's what we will also rerun the virtual performance tool for the landing, just because I know that there's gusty conditions going on. Still max auto, but the VREF ad is 15 knots because of the gusty winds. So the VREF additive. So let's do that again. The VREF additive should be 15 knots. So 148, 158. Wow, that's a fast landing. It's 163. Wow. Okay, descending now from flight level 370 to 10,000. Intercom traffic, Bonza 838. Overhead waypoint Lenac. Descending now from flight level 370 to 10,000 feet. Bonza 838. Okay, let's look at fuel burn at Lenac. 5.9. Okay, we're still at 500 kilos over, so we're going to go with what I was talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna put our right-hand side VOR onto Papa Yankee, which is so that we have a reference if we have to go around. That sure hope we don't have to go on. So I'm thinking if we only single channel it for the landing, we're using the information on the right hand VOR. And that has our ILS frequency. Okay, descent checklist. Pressurization landing altitude has been set. Recall check. Auto brakes set to max. Landing data VREF flaps 30 147 and plus 15 knots, so 163. And approach briefing has been completed. Descent checklist complete. So just as a refresher, we're going to come in on the UNSAM arrival, UNSAM 1, and then we're going to go downwind, turn left downwind, runway is at Y, and then go to waypoint, turn it right base on at LDEP, add left, and then turn to intercept and tap load, and then we're on the approach into runway 14 left. So we may have an opportunity from your view to see the runway on the other side of the aircraft from this view. On the way in. We shall see. Okay, we just passed UNSAM. Okay, we don't have the arrival procedure on our flight line. Okay, let's put the seatbelt sign on. Okay, so that forecast was for Moresby. Overcast at 10,000, broken at 4,000. Runway altitude is about 100 feet. And decision height is 450 feet, so well below the broken at 4,000. So we're going to have plenty of visibility. We're projected at VATSIM to be at about, just about that cloud level. So we can get, we got broke, okay, at the original overcast of 10,000. So we may not see the runway at VATSIM. In other words, when we're going to turn downwind. Because there's another layer of clouds at 4,000, although it's broken. But we definitely will be able to see it as we are on final approach. Still trying to shake this through. Sorry about that, folks. Not the most desirable thing to listen to. A hacking pilot. Concerning too, because we don't even know his virtual pilot today. Okay, barometer to standard. I mean to local. Descending through the clouds, but don't see any precipitation on the multifunction display.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you store any electronic devices until you are safely parked at the gate, as the use of such devices could interfere with the electronic landing equipment aboard the aircraft. In final preparation for landing, please ensure your seatbelts are securely fastened, your seatbacks are in the upright position, and your tray tables are stowed. Any hand luggage should be underneath the seat in front of you or placed in the overhead locker. The flight attendants will be passing through the cabin one last time to complete their final compliance check and to collect any remaining capsule glasses.
Okay, we are 3 miles away from the point where we start turning left downwind. So you see the aircraft bank to the left. And I can't see anything through this. We're right around just about 10,000 feet right now as we turn. I don't see anything in your view. We don't have a speed restriction at Adler, but at Damplow, I would like to see us 200. How much time I think? Let's go to flaps 1. Flaps 5 is 250 knots. Let's go to flaps 1.
prepare your feet for landing.
Okay, warlock. Right slope armed. Moresby traffic, Bonza 838 on final approach into runway 14 left. We are approximately 15 miles from touchdown. Moresby traffic. Okay. Okay, we're below that 4,000 foot broken cover right now. Okay, gear down. And we'll do flaps 15 speed check 115. Flaps 30 speed check, flaps 30. And we want an approach speed of 163. Speed brake armed. Okay, glide slope captured. Landing checklist. Engine start switches to continuous. Speed brake is armed. Landing gear is down, and flaps are set and green. Landing checklist completed. Runway in sight. A little bit of buffeting here. Thousand feet. Moresby traffic, Bonza 838 short finals, 4 mile final, runway 14 left, Moresby traffic. So our vacate is going to be to the right. We're hoping to vacate at Mike.
1000.
Okay,
Approaching
autopilot disconnect.
1, 4 left.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Landing.
300.
Auto throttle disconnect.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Boy, gusty conditions on the way in. Mine should be to our right.
On runway 1.
Ladies and gentlemen,
4
it will
left.
take the captain a few moments to taxi
Short
to the
runway,
gate, and we ask
short
that you remain
runway.
seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off and the aircraft comes to a complete stop at the gate. That will be the only indication that it is safe to get up and move about the cabin. We also ask that you keep the aisle clear of any hand luggage. This is the termination of our flight, so we ask that you check the seatback pockets and overhead lockers for any articles you may have brought with you. Extra care should be taken when opening overhead lockers, as some items may have shifted during our flight. On behalf of the captain and his crew, we would like to thank you for flying with us and wish you all a pleasant stay. Thank you.
Moresby traffic. Bonza 838 has vacated runway 14 left at Mike. Moresby traffic. So let's try to dial up the gates. And we are gate 3. So we're going to taxi via Mike Alpha to the bay. So Mike Alpha Delta. Moresby traffic, Bonza 838
3, 2,
is taxiing to Bay 3 at the international terminal via Mike Alpha Charlie. So it's the next right turn. This immediately right is another runway, a much shorter one. So that concludes our rather long circuit from, see if I can remember what it was. It was from Moresby to Cairns, Cairns to Brisbane, Brisbane to Wellington, Wellington to Queenstown, Queenstown to Christchurch, Christchurch I think to Melbourne. Then Melbourne to Brisbane, Brisbane to Cairns, Cairns, no, this sector Cairns to Moresby. So actually we're going to turn on Delta, not Charlie. Is anybody else here? Nobody else is here. Okay, APU on the bus. APU bleeds on. Strobes on. Okay, so this is Echo. Next one is Delta. This one goes to 2, and ours is 3. Switch off the taxi light. Okay, let's turn. Oh, Marshall is stuck behind the truck. We can still see him now. And we're parked. APU is running, so we can shut down the engines. Call for ground power. Very quick. Supply of ground power. APU lead off. APU off. All pumps off. Let the folks out of their seatbelts. And request deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
Okay. Jetway coming. Hey, how's it going, Pablo? What the ticket for the flight?
Passengers to boarding starting.
What's your question directed at? Okay. Probes off. Electrics off. Okay. Yaw damper off. I think we've got it all done. Okay. Oh, the setup. Okay, there's a lot of different things. There's a whole of this main instrument panel. The stuff you don't see is the pedestal is down here. This is the motorized throttle quadrant. There are actually 7 screens in the main instrument panel, and then I've got 2 functioning computer display units, CDUs. Then there is the overhead that you can see part of it, but then there's also an aft overhead. And then I have that's a 65-inch OLED TV for the outside view. I have 2 more ready to get set up, which I haven't done yet. So, and then I've got 2 powerful machines to run, one of them for the instruments and one of them for the external. So, and there's a lot of stuff, the seats, the controls, the pedals, the circuit breaker panels that you don't see, then the shell itself with liners, which I haven't installed yet. So there's a lot of stuff. So I haven't even added it all up, but I always tell folks, think Mercedes E-Class. That's about it. Hope that answers your question. Okay, so let's record some set times. Wow, how come I can't hear anybody? There should be passengers deboarding. Yeah, there's passengers deboarding. It's just very faint. Okay, so I am now looking at my set times. So our takeoff time was 0205, landing time was 0322, and we were on blocks. Oh, I'd have to estimate probably 332. I did mention what it was, but I can't remember what I said. Okay. So elapsed time was 1 hour, 17 minutes and 13 seconds, and then fuel remaining was 5,426 kilograms. You have to be like a real pilot if you want to fly this sim. I mean, I'm using real aircraft manuals and real procedures, but no, I'm not a real pilot. I have that pilot envy though. Okay. Now for the $64 million question was, what was my landing rate? You guys saw my landing? What do you think it was? Was it a good landing? I thought the lineup was terrible. I probably should have done a missed approach because I was not stabilized on the way in, but I came in and landed anyway because I almost would have done better on the landing than on a missed approach. Okay, let's see. Oh no, that's terrible. Touchdown at minus 228 feet per minute. That's about the same as my worst landing. which is terrible because I had just been trying to get my average landing rate down to close to 100 or below. This has probably destroyed that. But anyway, I have to document it. So landing rate minus 228 feet per minute. Hey Pablo, butter, huh? I wish it was butter, but it's not awful. I mean, the 200 about 200 feet per minute is still a reasonably okay landing. But I try to get it. You know, I'm trying to get an average under 100. I'm like 104 right now, something like that. But thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, Alan Pilot, hey, are you a real pilot? That's awesome. Well, if you didn't know, we've just completed a loop, which extended time-wise like for 3 months. I left Moresby about, I don't know, 3 months ago, I'm guessing. Flew to Cairns, Cairns to Brisbane. Brisbane, I think I went to from Brisbane to Wellington, Wellington to Queenstown, Queenstown to Christchurch, Christchurch to Melbourne, Melbourne to Cairns, no, Melbourne to Brisbane, Brisbane to Cairns, and then this flight Cairns back to Papua New Guinea, Port Moresby. Hey, thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a beautiful sim, and I got it. All the components and the shell I got from a company in Canada called Flightdeck Solutions, and that Flightdeck Solutions, they're located in Toronto, Canada, and they started off, you know, a couple of 2-3 decades ago, and they have been trying to find a balance all this time between supporting enthusiasts and supporting commercial entities, and now they have got they're very happy to be supporting a lot of commercial development now. A lot of aviation schools and some airlines are requesting products from them, and they would be pretty much the same setup as I have. Probably a little bit more elaborate, maybe a slightly higher grade main instrument panel, but the throttle quadrant is exactly the same that they use. Also the overhead is pretty much the same, and the shell too. I'm not sure if they sell to enthusiasts anymore. I was noticing on the software update downloads page that it's for commercial only unless you're already an enthusiast that has been grandfathered in. So you may not be able to get this from them anymore unless you're an aviation school that wants to set up a sim. Wow. Hey, what's wow, Pablo? Anyway, hey guys, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd appreciate it. Oh, look at this. So you're from Toronto. Is your simulator Microsoft Flight Simulator or X-Plane? Actually, you know, if you're Toronto, you should pay them a visit. And check it out. But actually, they're not using Microsoft Flight Simulator or X-Plane. We're using P3D. So, Pablo, you did subscribe. Hey, great, fantastic, man. And that's the best way. If you hit the notify, today I didn't, but usually on the community tab, I'll publish at least several hours or a day in advance what my flight plans are in the near future. So you get a ping when I do. Yeah, so Alon Pilot, yeah, check it out. Flightdeck Solutions, all one word, flightdecksolutions.com. I don't know if they sell to enthusiasts anymore though, but talk to Peter Cos. Yeah, Peter Cos. COS. Yeah. Yeah, they're using P3D. If you do pay them a visit, and you find out that they're also supporting Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, let me know, because I'm been drooling over all my friends who have desktop sims, or that have got different equipment and they're using ProSim. You can also use another software called ProSim for the avionics, and they support Flight Simulator 2020. And I haven't used them at all because Sim-Avionics and Flightdeck Solutions have a very tight relationship. So I wanted to take advantage of that tight relationship, and because setting up for Flightdeck Solution equipment is very easy with Sim-Avionics. So I didn't want to mess with something that works. So yeah, pay them a visit. They've usually got one or two full-blown dual seat sims set up to check out. But try to call them first before you pop in, because they're very busy, and I think they'd appreciate it if you gave them a heads up before you visit. I actually have never visited them, but I've bought a lot of stuff from them. All right, so let me complete this shutdown procedure. Get this back to 10,000, indicated airspeed to 100. Okay, all the switches are off. Okay. Turn the IRS selectors off. Now, I don't usually show this much to anybody, but I will this time. So what we do is we still have ground power. So I'm going to switch off the ground power, and hey, let's so Elon, you have a desktop setup at home, but nothing at this level, just a yoke and a throttle. Hey, that's what I started with and I had that for a long time. And then the latest, before I got this full setup, I decided to buy just the MCP and one FS unit. And that alone, just having these two pieces gives you a lot of control, in-flight control. Everything you need to do, change speed, course, altitude, and then you can change your range on your MCP, on your navigation display. All this stuff is worth thinking about, and this is a fraction of the cost of the whole setup. Try that. If you like that, then you can think about the next modification or addition. But those two from Flightdeck Solutions would set you back, I don't know, maybe under 2,000 Canadian. Okay, Pablo, you have a great night too, and come join again for our flights going forward. One of the things I've signed up for, I'm a member of the United Virtual Airline, and I fly United because I've been flying United. This aircraft is United. The Sim. Anyway, one of the next things I'm going to be doing is doing a hop from each of the United virtual hubs in North America. So that's something I'm going to start. I'm not going to just go continuously all around. I'll probably break that up with other flights as well. Something else I have on the horizon is a delivery flight for Southeast Asian airline, Malaysia Airlines, they have 4 Max 8s now, and this is a Max 8 Sim. So I'm going to do a delivery flight for them, and that flight is from from a BFI Boeing field in Washington State to Honolulu to Guam to Kuala Lumpur. So I'm going to be doing those sectors in the foreseeable future, not too distant. Do I have VATSIM? Yes, I do have VATSIM. I'm using VATSIM. I used it tonight, but there was very little traffic. There was, if you joined earlier on this flight, I had ATC being provided by Brisbane Centre, and that went out to probably almost halfway of my journey before they handed me off to Unicom. So there was some ATC on the way out. There was other aircraft departing also and there was another aircraft landing in Cairns, but nothing in Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea. Hey, Minnie, Young, how are you? Hello, hello. Nice of you to join. You just woke up. Well, too bad you don't have a simulator to fly because your laptop is broken. But hey, it's not a bad idea to hop on board my aircraft. Were you? Did you join the flight? Oh no, you just woke up, so I'm already on the ground. I'm in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. Hey, glad to see you joined. You'll just have to wait till my next flight. It may be on Monday. Not 100% sure yet. I don't think I'm going to be flying tomorrow. I'll be doing some upgrades. But hey, thanks for joining, Young. Okay, guys. Well, that was a good flight. Oh, I was shutting down. That's right. Okay, I wanted to show you the shutdown procedure. So right now I have ground power on. So if I turn my ground power off, which we're going to be closing down for the night, so which is what I'm going to do. This happens just like on the real aircraft. If I turn the ground power off, then the right hand side of the aircraft display is shut down, including one of the CDUs is out. So now I even have a message on the left side CDU which says single FMC operation. So so because we're now running on battery power, not on ground power, and battery can only support a certain amount without the APU running, and we already turned the APU off. So now the next step, what we do is we will turn the battery off. But when I turn the battery off, it should all shut off. So all that I have left, and really I don't think even this should be the way it is. I have separate controls for the lighting, but I think when you turn the battery off, all this lighting should also go off at the same time. So now it's a oh, wait a minute, hang on. Sorry, going back to Young, the MAS 5041, wait for me. Okay, I am. Hopefully, when did you say? August? Okay, I try and wait until then. Still haven't decided whether we're gonna do the first aircraft delivered or the fourth, but they both went the same route. But I have detailed information for the fourth one, so that's still up in the air. What do you think? Should I do the first one to say that it's the first Max 8, or do the fourth because I have the data for the fourth? Unless you have some way to find out the data for the first one. Okay, you want to fly? Yeah, understood. Hey, Alon, yeah, your setup is absolutely incredible. The second I join your stream, my mouse dropped. Keep up the great work. Hey, yeah, Alon, you know, I'm glad to have you accompany. join us for the rest of future flights for sure. You know, like I said, so if you subscribe and hit the notification, I do try to put a notice of the next flight on the community tab on my YouTube page. Unfortunately, I'm not set up to have one link that I can give in advance for a flight. Right now, the only way I can do it is to create the link when I start streaming. That's my limitation right now. But thank you, thanks for the compliment. Yeah, I love my sim. My wife thinks I'm crazy that I fly all the time, but it is what it is. So we're all a dark cockpit now, cold and dark. So we'll catch you all on the next flight, and ciao for now. See you later, guys. All the best. Okay, yeah. Do so and ping me as soon as you follow the stream. We can chat just like in the real flights and procedures. We can chat maybe before we take off, and also once we reach cruise altitude. But in between, you're really not supposed to. You're supposed to focus on anything to do with the flight. But you know, maybe when you're in the second part of the climb, I should be able to start chatting then. All right, awesome. Okay, guys. Your wife must not know what it's like to fly a plane. I asked her to join me all the time. I have 2 seats. Look, I got 2 seats here, you know, but she's not really interested. Yeah, it's a bit too technical. Okay, guys, gotta go. Ciao for now. Have a good one. We'll catch you on the next flight.